What's up, guys? John Johnson with Joseph Falla once again. You know what? I'm gonna nickname you Joey Badass because Joey, you're
I like
badass.
that. I like that.
Joey Badass in the building, also known as Joe Does Mortgages. We are here back again for another episode of Real Estate Keys, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. So we want to be very inclusive in regards to opportunities that are out there for people to buy a home. And you don't necessarily have to have a social security number to buy a home. Yes, you don't need a social security number to buy a home.
Not in the land of opportunity.
Right. Right. So people that are immigrating or people that have come to this country, they don't have their citizenship just yet. It's in the works, but they're making a very decent living. So today we're going to talk about just that. What opportunities are out there for our quote unquote foreign nationals, those that
Absolutely.
have a social security number? But before we do all that, Joe, what's up with the market, man?
The market was actually not that bad today. I can't speak for yesterday. Today, these are your average interest rates. Again, as I explain every week, disclaimer: these are not my rates. This is not the bank down the street. This is not a comparison to whatever pre-approval you may have as of today, October 18th, 2022. This is just an average of what rates are looking at depending on the type of loan that you've been pre-qualified for. So our favorites are FHA. We're at 6.62 today. 30-year fix is your conventional. VA 6.65. 15-year in your jumbos for your high-price mortgages. So at the bottom, as I always say, we have the what the market is, whether the market was in a green or red day today, and we ended up 0.13% in the green. So the market was in buyer's favor today. Maybe not this week, not as of Monday. Yesterday was a little harsh, but this is what your average loan amount, depending on your FICO score. This is actually based on, I think I've mentioned it before. This is based on a 740 credit score, lower purchase amount of probably around $250,000. So that is the market as of today.
Okay. Roller coaster ride with these rates, man.
But they may be going up and down, but what always goes up?
Prices, appreciation, value.
And rent.
Yeah, that's 100% without question.
I like your point better though. Appreciation always does go up.
Yeah,
Not in every case. It always depended on the market, but
yeah,
in most cases, your house is always on an upswing.
absolutely.
So foreign nationals. I know you've had a lot of lenders, especially, have come across issues where someone may they fill out their application and them unknowingly will provide you a social security number, or maybe people that here that are managers, hired people in the past, and they give you a social security card, and it says for work only purposes. I when I worked at Office Depot years ago, I hired a kid. He gave me a social security number, and I didn't know that because it started with a 9, he wasn't supposed to get hired. Hired the kid. He worked with us at Office Depot. He was a techie guy, and he sold I don't know how many computers back then, big desktops. And come like 8 months later, I get a call from headquarters about the gentleman, and they said, "Well, his social security number isn't valid." So I'm thinking it's something related to fraud. I said,
Right.
"Well, you see at the beginning of his social, it starts with a 9." I'm like, "Okay, what does that mean?" Well, he's actually not a citizen. He's here for work purposes only. We don't accept those cards. So I had to unfortunately let the gentleman go. But that's when I became aware of a regular social security number and a work only social security number. But for mortgage purposes, we can actually use those. Okay? So this is actually just a little slide here that gives you some information on how and who can qualify. So the programs that we offer at my bank are for either residents that are living here and working for a certain amount of time. We prefer over 2 years, or that may come in and out of the country. Okay. You can see this well enough, right? I'm showing it full screen.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So now, if you're a client or you as a buyer are eligible to come in and out of the country, that's a plus, right? So that's what the banks are looking for. They don't want it. They're not really offering this to someone that's trying to buy an investment property that doesn't live in the country for a certain amount of time. Okay. And now these are all case by case basis, right? So I put no credit scores needed. We do have loans where you don't necessarily have to have a credit score. We'll use, it depends on your bank. The process varies from one to another, but credit scores are a plus. But if you don't have a credit score, you have an established credit score, we can actually help you as well. As I said before, this can be your primary or an investment property. We can apply the program for someone looking to purchase a single unit up to 4 units in condos. So that's the primary purpose of the loan and who can qualify. John, what have you come across in the past? Here in New Jersey.
Well, similar foreign national programs. In the past, early on, it seemed almost impossible.
How long ago was that?
I'm talking maybe 5 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
It seemed almost impossible. And it could be because, number one, I wasn't connected to the right lender, such as yourself.
Okay. And guidelines changes, policies changes. The banks are in the business of making a profit. So when they see something is not being implemented as well as it should be, programs like this come about. Same reason why FHA came about and all the different programs that we have now that we didn't have back in when our parents were trying to get mortgages.
Sure. And I guess a lot of the prerequisites kind of weren't understood. Like, well, how long do you have to be in the country? What additional paperwork do you have to bring to the table? All that good stuff, as you have here on the next slide.
It's like we planned this out, right?
Seriously. No filter. Be clear.
So, how to qualify? This is just a couple of points that I put in. There are a lot more pieces to this. I don't want it to make it to be that it's, Joe said, if I have this type of visa, I definitely qualify. There are other things that you do need to qualify. But this is just to give people an idea. All right. So you must have a valid visa, social security card. Again, if it's a work only, we can use it as well. I put some examples there of the different types of visa cards. B1, B2, E3. There's an E, G, and H. From my experience, usually if you have like a permanent visa card, I believe they're called, or a U.S. Some sort of U.S. foreign national card, usually your information is on the back. All right. If you're currently working, that is also a plus. If you have tax returns for over 2 years, that is also a plus. If you are working, we do need verification of employment. So basically the way this works, the more you provide, more information you provide to us, the dig a little bit more we're going to dig in. Okay. Now, minimum down payment, which is what I'm sure that was going to be your next question, John. Absolutely. It varies from the type of loans, because as I said in the previous slide, these are available. These programs are available for investment loans. So depending on the type of property and the type of loan you're looking for, the minimum down payment will be 25 to 30%. Okay. Additional qualifications: 620 credit score. If you have child support, alimony, we do use those towards your debt. And the loan amounts can go up to $3 million. So with some examples in the past, I've had clients that were here temporary, and I believe there's a process where you have to renew that temporary alien card or the U.S. card they give you. There is a document if your actual card has expired. There is a document that you should have already filled out that will enable it to be renewed if it's in the process of getting renewed. I know with COVID, a lot of this stuff is on backlog. We can use the temporary form that they give you stating that your application has been received and they're currently working on it. So that's pretty much the gist of the program.
Okay. So I'm looking at that minimum down payment. So clearly it's not going to be, what you would have if you had a Social Security number
Right.
where 3.5% down FHA or 5, 10% or what have you. I would assume the banks or lenders in this case are looking at it as a higher risk with the minimum down payment of 25 to 30.
We're here today, John. That was my next statement. So yeah, so people ask, well, I've been here in the country for 20 years. I've filed my tax returns. I'm all caught up. I've been working at the same job for 20 years. It's all based off the risk. Same difference goes for someone that has a 620 credit score, or let's say a 580 credit score, and someone that has a 680 credit score. It's more of a risk. It's the same for any kind of business. What happens when you've had a couple of car accidents, John, and you go to renew and your policy is up for renewal, and you had 3 car accidents since the last renewal 6 months ago?
Yeah, either they deny me or they jack up that rate.
That sounded like I hit a pain point there, John, the way you shuffled it a little bit.
Nah, my travel.
Oh, you want to talk about anything, or?
Nah, just talking on behalf of friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
For a friend? Yeah.
They're asking for a friend. So yeah, it's all based off risk factors. And once you've gotten your social, you could always refinance this. So it's not fixed. It is a fixed loan. So you can't actually get them on an ARM product. You can get them for FHA or conventional. There are conventional products if you do have that one particular. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the card right now. I'll actually put it later in the description, where we can actually go conventional and you can go as low as 5%, but that's a very small percentage of buyers. There isn't a possibility. I have worked with a buyer before where they were able to put down 5% based off their credit, based off the type of card and the type of status that they currently have.
Okay, and obviously that has to be fully documented.
Correct. And he was actually a self-employed as well.
Okay, and the loan amounts. I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, up to $3 million. I mean, that's a nice range. That gives anybody the ability to purchase whatever it is.
Right.
4 units, right?
Up to 4 units, correct.
Up to 4 units. I mean, that's a nice opportunity for someone coming over here. They're on a work visa, what have you. They're here for a while and eventually say, you know what? Maybe I want to settle down over here in the States.
Right.
With a product like this.
And one thing, let's say for the naysayers out there, well, where is someone going to get 25% from, right? How many, Justin, how many mom and pop shops in New Jersey, John, are people that are brand new to the country?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've owned a restaurant in the past. And owning a full kitchen, repairs, fixing up the restaurant the way you want it to look, inventory, electrical, gas, it's not cheap. So these people that come from other countries, they have money. That's a whole other conversation of how we save money and how people save money in other countries. You would be so surprised. This is for my realtors. You would be so surprised how much money someone from a different country or someone that's been in this country for some time has saved up. And they're just looking for the right opportunity.
I will tell you, and I think I'll speak on behalf of a lot of the realtors. Um, During the pandemic, we've had, when I say we, us as realtors,
Uh
we've
huh.
had a lot of foreign nationals come to us
Uh huh.
with truckloads of money.
And what
Definitely.
happened? Were they looking to buy a house?
They were looking
Obviously, I'm just
for
asking.
a lot of things. Looking to buy investments, looking to buy buildings. Um, but the fact that they were foreign national kind of limited them from buying like commercial spaces, which might be another topic. But 2 to 4 units, 1 unit, that single family home. Um,
I
they
I
had a
spoke to someone a few years ago, and this is when I first got like hip to how international money works. And we're not going to use the country, right? It's too much yay stuff going on nowadays. There was
yeah,
one particular country, and the gentleman said, "Well, all they do is they come to the L.A. This gentleman was from L.A. and they buy up vacant buildings and they let it just sit there." I said,
mm,
"Sit there? Why would they do that? Because they're hiding money from whatever country they're coming from."
well, that happens everywhere, right?
But as a realtor, if you are in the right circles, wouldn't it be beneficial for you to help them try to reinvest that money instead of just letting it be parked somewhere
Absolutely.
in a
Absolutely.
in a small building, 4 unit apartment building, multifamily?
Yeah.
Again, this is for my realtor partners out here.
Yeah, I get it. You're hitting me all in the head. It's bouncing off of me to you guys as well. So it's hitting my shirt and bouncing to you guys.
Opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities. And this is a great, great program. Great program for our foreign nationals. So you got a down payment, 25, 30%. There'll be some paperwork. You have to legitimize yourself
Correct.
here or your existence here. But you mentioned something that I wanted to expand on. You said they have the opportunity to refinance.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of major because
Absolutely.
think about it, 25 to 30% down on up to 4 units, right?
Correct.
So you're going in there with some equity, obviously, because you put down a higher down payment.
No PMI once you're at
Right.
25%.
There's no PMI, so you're going in there naturally
And
without
no upfront PMI either.
no upfront PMI either.
No upfront PMI and no monthly PMI.
And then you can refinance the product because the rate will go down. And I would assume naturally this program has a higher rate because it's
It
at
does.
higher risk.
I'd say about just don't hold me to the number, but about 1% to 1.5% higher than what your prime rate would be right now.
Okay, okay. I think that's sweet. That's sweet. That is
Absolutely.
wow.
And
And
you were going you were going in the right direction there, John. So now I've put down 25%. I've held this loan. I've been in this house for over 3 years. I've bought a house in a great area, an up and coming area. And not only that I initially walk in with 25% of equity that you get back, right? If you ever sell the house or if you're looking to refinance. So now, not only have you put down 25%, but my house has appreciated another 10%. Now I've got my official social security card. I am officially a U.S. citizen. And now I want to refinance the house. You can pull out that equity to either start a new business, an investment of your choice, purchase another property. So you're actually one step ahead. You're about a few steps ahead of other people that are putting 3.5%, 5% down.
that's a very, very valid point. And now you're starting to build a portfolio. You're slowly starting
Living
to,
the American dream.
that's it. And I think it's important for those of us that are not foreign nationals to kind of understand how foreign nationals get started in real estate. And this is one of the ways or one of the entries for them into the market. by doing this, coming into the market with 25 to 30% down on the property, okay, and then leveraging that equity, leveraging the opportunity to refinance their first home to buy others.
Absolutely.
So I think this is
That's
a good learning lesson for a lot of us. Like, damn, we're citizens. Maybe we need to step it up a little bit because
when's the last time you've seen a realtor? When's the last time you've seen a realtor actually walk into a mom and pop shop? Maybe someone that has a particular international cuisine and say, "Hey, are you a homeowner? Have you thought about buying a house in recently?" Well, I'm not a citizen. I'm not a citizen.
gem alert. We just dropped the gem. Joe, that's why I call you Joey Badass now. Joe just gave everyone, including me, a gem for the realtors that are watching. A true gem. Are we asking, a lot of these owners of these shops that we frequent, you know, do you own or do you rent? Because surprisingly, a lot of them do rent.
They do
They do rent, but the capital
because
is
of
there,
lack of not in a bad way, but lack of education of how the real estate market really works.
which is why we're here.
Absolutely.
Joe, once again, Joey Badass has given us another one. And shout out to the real Joey Badass. Joey Badass number 2. Joe, how do you get a hold of you, man?
908-669-9091. Joe does mortgages on all platforms. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content that we're providing here. If you have any questions, feel free to DM us. Put it in the comments of the live after we post the live. And we're always here to help.
And I am yours truly, John Johnson Signature Group, Exit Platinum Realty, 908-338-0639. And Joe, once again, we dropped another dime on them. And we thank you guys for joining us in this episode of Real Estate Keys.
Later.